I would like to call Officer Eric Warner to the stand. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer: everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged.
Mr. Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false. You know that to be false.
Which one?
That Mr. Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. You knew that was false. For anybody who had never heard that before, that question is now planted into them, unqualified representation that Mr. Kohberger stalked one of the witnesses, and that's false.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to make this really short, sweet, to the point because I am currently in the middle of editing the Coffeehouse Crime debunk video along with doing Xana and Ethan's in-depth video the way that we just did Kaylee and Maddie's when it comes to the newest report from the blood spatter expert that we are doing a deep dive into. In making an edit in the Coffeehouse debunk video where I mentioned the fact that we have SHEATH information from the forensic lab, but we have not seen placement photos because since I recorded that, we have indeed received placement photos. In speaking that portion into the video to make an update to the information, I began thinking back to who was in the house? Who would have actually seen this? And then I went to what Eric Warner's report says. Eric Warner is the second officer to have come on scene that day. Eric Warner is who ended up talking to Hunter Johnson outside, who ended up having him go down the stairs, telling him not to touch the knife. He is the one who got there after Officer Nunes. Now, in Eric Warner's report, he says this. On the third floor, on the southeast bedroom, I saw two clothed females laying on a bed on their backs who appeared deceased. One female on the left side of the bed in relation to the bedroom door had an extreme amount of lacerations on her face and upper body, which made her unrecognizable. That would be Kaylee. The other female had multiple lacerations on her upper body and some blood on her face. That would be Maddie. I walked to the far side of the bed to determine if the female on the right was beyond help. I'll go back to that in just a second. I saw the female's leg was off the edge of the bed and it had lividity. Once I noticed the lividity in the female's leg, I backed out of the room. When I said I'll go back to that, what I meant was listen to the way that he describes the female on the right. We know that Maddie was actually on what was technically the left side of the bed. But if you are looking at that, it would be sort of like a mirror image and the sides would be crossed. Therefore, when Officer Payne says, when viewed from the door, it's on the right, this is where this verbiage is coming from. It must be the way they are protocoled in order to write the reports, but it does cause confusion because when it comes to the forensic records, it's all about the left side, the left edge, the left side, and it makes the reports look like something's wrong, when in reality, for some reason, these just don't have any uniformity because it's two different entities doing the texting, doing the talking, doing the writing. And if these people in these criminal divisions all just did the exact same things, we wouldn't have all of this discrepancies that maybe really aren't discrepancies. There wouldn't be so many questions for things there maybe shouldn't be questions for. But we need to just keep that in mind when reading this, that this just must be the way they're told to write things. Now, what's really important here is what Eric Warner says. I walked to the far side of the bed to determine if the female on the right was beyond help. I saw the female's leg was off the edge of the bed and it had lividity. Once I noticed the lividity in the female's leg, I backed out of the room. So you're telling me that you walked into this bedroom and you went around the corner to the side of the bed where you could see that Maddie's leg was out of the bed, and you are not noting in your report that you saw a tan leather knife sheath? Because the way that it is in the photos, if you were tall enough from the door, you definitely could have seen it. If you were all the way into the room on the side of the bed, you definitely could never have missed it. So why is it not in Eric Warner's report? Now, I'm going to play you a portion of his body cam from when he has now led Hunter Johnson outside, and he is going back up the stairs to go up to the third floor to clear the room, and he walks in. Now, keep in mind, there is a large portion of this that is muted, redacted. He could very well be saying something about the knife sheath in this muted section. We don't know, but he's not mentioning it in his report.
Please start it. We're on the third floor going up. Moscow Police Department. Dude. House clear? We're clear. Yes. Nice. Secure the outside first. You go to the front door. Yes. Anybody in? There's a back entry. I'm going to start taking it all off. Brian's taking that. Hey, pup. Hey, puppy. Okay. You going down? That's clear, except for the dog. We might want to make sure that thing doesn't. Okay. Halfway turned around just now.
And again, the sheath already has 3 different stories. We have the new chief coming out and saying that Payne is the one who found it, and Payne is taking responsibility for it technically in the way that his portion of the probable cause is written. Then we have Dustin Blaker, who was the other person helping Payne on this case, that gives the responsibility to the Idaho State Police crime scene technicians that were there on scene. Then we have a retired FBI agent that actually worked the case saying that no one noticed anything until after the comforter was moved. But we can definitely see that you can see the knife sheath sticking out from not only the comforter, but also as it is partially tucked under Maddie's upper thigh, lower back, as the report literally says it. You can see that without the comforter having to be moved. A portion of it for sure. Now you move the comforter, you can see basically the entire thing, as only a very, very, very small portion is actually tucked under Maddie. But why is it not in Officer Warner's report? How could he not have seen it if he went to that side of the bed? That makes no sense. And just for accuracy's sake, as most of you guys already know, Officer Nunes did not mention anything at all about the knife sheath either. And it was actually pretty disappointing when we started going through the Moscow Police Department reports that besides the inventory for the narrative that's technically insert number 1 for all of these supplemental reports, it was first mentioned in passing under Officer Rosinski's report number 8, where it just says, the following day on 11/14/22, I learned that a sheath was found inside the apartment. He goes on to describe the sheath and then just basically says the only reason why he was even told about it is because he was asked to go to some of the local businesses and follow up on if they sold this specific type of knife sheath. And if you're going to try to tell us that it's crazy that we think something is shady about the knife sheath and then think that there's nothing wrong here, well, then I don't know what to tell you. because anyone with any sort of give a shit about honesty would know that something is definitely wrong with this officer claiming that he was on that side of the bed and there not being a lick of anything about the knife sheath in his report. I have serious questions for Eric Warner, and I want to know who went in and out of that bedroom between Eric Warner and Officer Payne. Because if that's who the department is going to put the responsibility on, then the in and outs need to be shown to the public, and every single one of those people needs to be lie detector tested and interrogated about how that knife sheath got there. Because if Eric Warner didn't see it, who put it there? And if they want to say that Payne is just some sort of patsy because he's easily gullible and easily told what to do, which is honestly what I believe, then who is supposed to be the one responsible for this conundrum? Please let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.